Oh. Okay, maybe just also we missed the last 2 weeks just to touch on Yisrael Mishpatim. So just Yisrael is a very kasha. Rav Shach is the kasha. The one time in history, Kosh Baruch Hu comes to speak to the world. One time, that's it. So you expect a drasha for the Kosh Baruch Hu, a shir. Who's at the Klal Yisrael? Talking about the Doradeya. Doradeya, Chavetz Chaim, Rabbi Kvega, the Rambam, the Goy. Tonight, we're talking about Klal Yisrael. So Moshe Hashem says at the drasha, one time only in history. L'sirtzach, don't kill. L'tinav, don't do adultery. L'shtalzach, Detroit brings in a Groisa speaker, my Krohn, my friend, every year I says Metshuva, Hell, place is packed, hundreds of people come, don't want to have a drasha, it's going to inspire them to do tshuva, we're going to be Kabbalah this year. And now, he says, Rabbi, for this year we should make a Kabbalah, nobody should commit murder. I think that would be a gewaltige Zach this year, for the Mechazik Zayin. But Tinov, don't live with someone else's wife. That would be a great Zach. We should make Kabbalah not to be a violation of Eishes Ish. A person, I think most people would take eggs and throw it. But coming to the Kail here, to like people, we want to hear Dvar Hashem to be David to Kosh Baruch Hu. You're telling me this is for us? You may be downtown Detroit, we're talking to people who have stature. We want to steig, we want to grow. That's what the type of thing you tell us. And Kosh Baruch Hu says, don't kill. No niyuv. Lasachmoid. I mean, lasachmoid is not so simple either. Just don't want something from somebody. Going. Lasachmoid means you have to go do something to get that you want to. Eishes ish. Maybe you don't like your wife anymore. I'd like to talk to you into persuade you. Who does that type of type? Maybe a car. You want to sell your car. I like your car. That's the drasha. That's the one time in history Kosh Baruch Hu spoke to the world. What's the pshat of that? So Rav Shach, it's the greatest drasha in the world's history, because this is what a man could do. Take the greatest cultured nation on earth that was 80 years ago. Murderers, sadists, people cruel. To a cultured nation. You can be whoever you are. And that's what the human being can be. And the Torah is telling you, and they gave us the Heilige Torah. The Torah could take us and be miroim beimas. That's the Torah. Without the Torah, chalila v'chalila, what we could end up being, what the power of the human is. A person can be achmanu l'tzlan, chas v'shalom, the worst of the worst, so he can be the best of the best. And we have to take the Torah to give us the guidance to be David HaKadosh Baruch Hu can give us. That's chayim. Okay, Pashas Mishpatim also just to touch into the Kudus, because you go into the interesting, it's Naschala of what it means. After the Torah is given, you find the mitzvah Eved Ivri. Eved Ivri. Everybody knows, the Chazal say whoever buys an Eved Ivri is Ki'ilu Kana Adai La'asma, he buys himself an Adai. I mean, you walk home, you didn't tell your wife you're coming home with an Eved, and she made you steak, and now you come home, and you're ready to sit down to supper, and only one steak. And he says, who's that? That's the Eved I just bought. He says, well, he gets the steak. When are you going to eat some tuna? I made Shabbos comes, he didn't, where's the Shabbos clothes? He asked the Eved. I don't have any. He says, you have the Streimel Bekesha, he gets it, you wear the hat, and you walk into shul with him, and they think you're the Gabba, the Rebbe. No, he's the Eved, you're the Adai. Kilo Kana over the Atzmai. Amay take the girl that's a Jewish maid, your wife's getting older, you're getting older in life, and you think you need a good, young, energetic 10-year-old girl. She can do things around the house, wash the dishes, do the laundry. She's good. You help. So, okay, you buy her, she's there to help, and a year or two, and she's not bas mitzvah yet, and then you have a mitzvah called Yi'ud. You have to marry her. I mean, it's a mitzvah. Marry her, you, your son. Oh, now you marry her. And what comes now? You told her to take out the garbage till now. Now she tells you, hey, take out the garbage. I mean, she's your wife. You have to give her, you have to give her more honor than yourself. Not only that, but she comes along with her father, who now is your shver. So let's assume that you're, 60s, your wife is older. You brought this 10, 12-year-old girl, now she's your wife, and your shver is probably in his 30s, or 40, early 40s. He sold his daughter, by the way. She's probably not from the best mention that we would assume to be, but he needed money when he sold his daughter. So he probably put him in the lower class of life. And now he comes into shul with you, and you walk into shul, and people say, "Oh, this is your son-in-law." He says, "No, he's my shver, my father-in-law." "Oh, my shver, please come up." And you give him a siddur, and the chumash, the place to sit. You be mechabed chomev, chayv adam, b'chol chomev, you have to honor your father-in-law. Now, these are the people that he's showing, the Torah shows us, right in the beginning of Benaram Chaveiroi, how it's set up. And Eved, Amivriya, Mitzvah Yiyud, and then the Shver. Wow, that means that's the cover you're giving to these type of people. So imagine a Yid who's not in that status, what the cover is, and that's the Haskalah of the Parshas Mishpatim, which leads us into all the dinim of Benaram Chaveiroi. So certainly it's giving us a psicha, hakdama, of what Klal Yisrael really is, to recognize how we give cover to other people. And more than that, just to share also in the Bama Machteres, the fellow is digging his way into a person's house. What's the halacha? If he comes into your house, kill him. He's coming for money. I mean, he's dug his way into him. He put all that effort in to dig his way. He's not leaving. If you're going to confront him to save your money, he's ready to kill, so you have to kill him. That's the halacha. But if it's clear as day that this person's not going to kill you, you're not allowed to kill him. The Gemara says, who's that man? It's clear as day, he's not going to kill you. Who's that? The father. If the father's coming into your house and you confront him, you're about to kill him, you say, it's father, you don't kill the father. I'm just trying to get the picture over here. The father is digging his way into his son's house. Now let's see. Obviously, the father's poor. I mean, to go break his way into someone's house to dig, very arduous work, very difficult work. He's got to do it. He needs money. He needs it. So now he has an option. Where should I go? He needs to get. And when you're making it someone's house, you probably got to not walk out just with a piece of bread. I mean, assuming he wants to take out for his lifetime's earnings, he wants to be able to make it big. So he's probably looking around town to find the richest guy around, or one of the richest people, so he can walk out with a good chelik. His son. His son is this mansion, beautiful, rich fellow, a lot of money. 1 second. So the father's poor, the son's rich. Now let's figure that one out. So probably, assumably, the father brought the kid up. I mean, he certainly was a father to him as a baby. He certainly nurtured him and brought him up, put the cheder. He took care of the kid. So maybe put him to college also, whatever he might have done to him. And now that's the establishment that this wealthy son came from the father. Okay. So he probably put him through what he got. And even if not, I mean, there's halacha tzedakah that you're supposed to give the first, is kroivim. That's halacha. You give the first person, he probably his name on buildings and giving tzedakah, but his own father hasn't given a penny to it, and his father's groveling around in poverty. So his father figures, my son, I'll go and dig my way into his house. My assumption is that every time he takes that shovel and digs, and it's hard work, and you got to get through and penetrate, and you got to work quick and hard because you want to get in while it's still dark. So every time he's digging, and he's thinking to himself more and more, I'm assuming the feelings of rage are building. Schwitzing away is not, I mean, the young son is rich, he's probably in his 30s, father probably is 50s in his 60s. He's older, again, older a little bit, digging away, anger raging and broiling. He's the one man, probably the father says, I want to wring his neck and kill him. That's probably his anger. My own son doesn't give me stuck, he doesn't care about me, doesn't. And I put him through it, I established him. I mean, another gear, okay, he made it big. I have no real shaykhs to him, I just got to pick him to get the money up. I might be upset and frustrated, but I don't think the anger is going to be boiling and going. So this father's going, getting that anger building. He wants to get his son and wring his neck, and he has to get that money. But he's the only man in the world who won't kill that son. He won't. The compassion of the father's on his son is the Metzius. Father loves his son. That as much as he's upset and angry, he'll never kill his son. He can't. But that also shows us that we have Rachmei Ha'av, Avinu of Harachama, the boy the Shalayla is of Harachama, and he also wants to be Chais here, to dig his way into our hearts. He's trying to get in, dig his way in. And sometimes Rahman al-Islam, maybe we we might confront him and push him out, but they have to recognize that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is that Av Rahman. He loves us as a father. He's not going to kill us. Chas v'shalom. He wants the best for us. If we would have that hakara recognition, that love, the intense love of the Avinu of Harachman, that he loves us. He's a father. He wants to do the best for us, but he wants to get into us, into our kishkas, into our hearts. It would turn us around to understand the connection, the relationship that we have. The unconditional love the father has for a child is unconditional. The father's going to his son's house. He's not going to kill him. That ava that's there. So if we can have that courage to bring us to that, then now we come to Parashas Teruma. What's the pasuk say? Yichali Teruma lishmi. Recognize that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is. He gave us the Hele Good Torah, his Bachabanim, Mikolo Amim, and his Avarachman. He wants us, he loves us so much. He says, now build a house for me. What's the house for? What's the Shechina for? That we're going to bring we are going to create the Makom for the Shechina to come down, to be amongst us. And we are doing Ke'ilu Hashem a favor. And no, it's that we can make a host place for HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that he can preside with us. He wants to have a dir b'tachtonim. He wants to have a place to live amongst us down here on this earth. We're so surrounded, with so much pulling us against it. And Hashem says, no, you can be the one to make me a house, a place of Rosh Hashchina. Each person can participate, whatever the amount is. It's nidvas liba, it's whatever the person is, that a person can come along and bet he wants us to have that chiluk. Chofetz Chaim once, what they said, they came to him and wanted to make a keren for the yeshivas. And he said, no. You have to have a situation where every yid can donate his $5 to yeshiva. If that's all he can afford, he needs to have that chiluk. He needs to have that as part of him, recognizing that's what he lives for. And that person now, it's his schus to be connected to the Torah Kedosh, and Hashem wants us to be able to have that opportunity, to recognize that it's for us a schus, that whatever we can put in, any situation that we're giving, especially for Moistus, the Torah, Beis Medrash, to realize this for HaKadosh Baruch Hu, or we can invest in that is really for elevation for ourselves, that we can host HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It's a hafladika thing. That should be that that we really create from what we can do, that Hashem can find a place in us that He can preside, and that becomes our whole life, and that's what really brings us to the Yom Tov Purim, because Purim itself is in the Hester of the Golus. Where's Hashem? No, in the Golus they found Him, and through that it came to a greater Kabbalah Satorah than Ma'amad Sinai. Because like Gemara says, Peiches and Shabbos, that time that we got the Torah in Sinai is Meidor Rabbi L'Raisa. Really, it was from Kviya in a certain sense, forced into it. But when Purim came along, as Hada Kiblua, they accepted Torah now from Simcha, from that Ava in Golus. Where are we? Amongst all the Goyim, no homeland, and Hashem's there with us. And it became on the greatest Simcha of Klal Yisrael. Kiblu, Hayhudim, and this Vidor Lador every year that we come along and celebrate this tremendous Yom Tov, because we found Hashem in the Hester, in concealment, that is there for us, and He loves us, and He wants us, and we came with that. We had the Kimu V'Kiblu. We were able to come along and be Kabul Torah, B'Toich Simcha V'Av.